that evening, a musical relationship slash friendship was born. Even with playing music on stage with other musicians, there has to be chemistry there, and at the same time, it's like you want to be able to have chemistry away from the stage as well. Because if you have chemistry away from the stage, your show and your stage presence and everything like that is
Yeah.
going to be
People
even
pick
greater.
up on it. Not just entertainment, what we do. We'll be talking to designers and entrepreneurs and people that's trying to get their t-shirt brand popping. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your hustle is, this is Hustlenometry 101. And we're going to all get there together.
Shag Motown. So like I told you, I got these.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
jamming on the
Brandon.
board, sure.
Yeah, Brandon. Fine. That's what we. That's what it is. Mic check
Hey.
1 2 1 2. Am I coming in loud and clear on your end, sir?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you see me, hear me?
I hear you and see you and smell you. You smell
Hey.
like $1,000.
I appreciate that. You smell like
With
1,002.
ooh, yeah, and some Dolce Gabbana cologne. Yeah, heard?
Light blue.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, light blue. You gotta
Like-
love that light blue. Already we started. Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? Welcome to another edition of the No Shortcut Show. Today is Monday, April 11th, 2022. We are excited, humble, gracious, and grateful to be here for another installment of our brand new platform by the name of No Shortcuts. We give you guys just a few moments to come on in, grab you a snack, grab you a beverage. We have a very special guest in the house this evening that we are looking forward to just picking his brain a little bit
Yeah.
and allowing him to share some of his insight as being an entrepreneur with you guys. Before we proceed,
Yes,
allow
sir.
me to introduce my hustle correspondent to you guys.
Hey.
This guy is your favorite DJ's favorite DJ.
Yeah.
He's an event producer
Yeah.
as well as a digital media strategist.
Yes,
Ladies
sir.
and gentlemen, make some noise at home while we make some noise on the screen for my guy, DJ Famous, Travis Bizel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yes,
And as
sir.
usual, we're sitting in here with my man, 50 grand,
50
musician
grand from Japan.
from Japan. Musician, MC, producer, rapper. That record we were just
Oh,
coming
man.
in on, he wrote and produced that.
Yeah.
Band leader,
Oh man,
Executive.
this guy's far too kind.
my man Jerry Midas Hardison.
Oh man, you far too kind. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Hey,
For
man.
the warm welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for being in
Yeah.
here with us.
Man, it is always a pleasure, always an honor, always a privilege.
sure.
As you guys are coming in, I want to say hello to my family. I see them filing in. They always outpour such support and love when it comes to our endeavors and things of that nature. We really
Definitely.
appreciate you guys. Make sure you leave us a comment, folks.
Yeah.
And if you by the way, if you're catching the replay after we have gone off from the live, make sure when we drop that subscription link in the comments, make sure you hit that. Go
Yes,
over to
sir.
YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. You want to tell them a little bit about our platform before we bring our special guest on, bro?
Hey, No Shortcuts is just a space for creators, for entrepreneurs, for hustlers, just to share tips with each other, just to talk about our stories, talk about our trials, our tribulations, things that worked well for us on our way to, to our current fields, and things that didn't work so well for us either.
Yeah.
Because we're going to
Yes.
drop those jewels, and hopefully the next person won't step in that same piece that I stepped in. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
not that landmine, a
Yeah,
different
don't step.
landmine.
Exactly. So we just like to create a space, just an open conversation. Some weeks it'll just be the two of us chatting it up, talking about our weekend and talking about different topics, that can help folks. And some weeks we'll be bringing in some special guests, like today.
Like today. So, hey, shall we proceed? I don't see why we should keep the people waiting any
Why not?
longer.
Why not?
May I do the honors this evening?
Please do.
Well, ladies and gentlemen at home, it gives me distinct pleasure to introduce our next guest right here on the No Shortcut Show. This gentleman I've known for, gosh, give or take 38, 39 years.
Give or take.
We grew up together. We did everything from G.I. Joe's, watching Looney Tunes, going out in the backyard, playing throw up tackle and basketball and playing music and beatboxing and our first rhymes and on the tape
Yeah.
recorder. This guy I'm so proud of as a man, as a father, as a husband, and
Yeah.
also as an entrepreneur. He is the owner of his very own business by the name of Smooth Sales. Ladies, I got to take
How
you
y'all
off
doing
mute right
tonight?
fast.
Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh
What's
yeah.
happening?
Okay, what's up, Fame? What's up, Midas? How y'all doing
What's
tonight?
up?
What's
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 happening,
good,
Matthew?
man?
Yeah. In the words of the
You got it.
of the famous in the words of the famous poet Jay Z, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Matt.
That's right.
Yeah,
Matthew
there you
Hardison.
go.
Matthew
Yeah,
Hardison in the
man.
That's
house.
Matthew.
right.
Yeah,
Yes,
man. It's a
sir.
it's a
Excited to
pleasure
be
to
on.
have you. It's a pleasure to have you on with us this evening. We were just chatting in our virtual green room. How usually, on other platforms, you're more behind the scenes. You don't really go
Yeah.
live much in the sake as far as for your own business and things like that. So this might be if this is your first, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you
Yeah.
on and to spread some of your good news and spread
For
some of your
sure.
secret sauce
Yeah.
with
Hey,
everyone
I'm
out there.
just thank y'all for having me on. I just want to say hello, you guys. Hello to all the family watching. Hello to the Smooth Sales community, all my family friends. Appreciate your support. I see everybody chiming in, logging in.
Yeah.
Appreciate everyone chiming in tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
So we
And
we
go.
were going live. We were going live a few weeks ago, and just like tonight, we
Oh
accept
yeah,
comments. Everybody comment in.
Oh
Please feel
yeah,
free to
please do.
chime in on whatever our subject
yes,
matter is. If you got some suggestions, we want to hear them. And Matthew was in here real heavy with some suggestions and some jewels too, just like Faith was a few weeks before too. I said, "Yo, we have a whole family of entrepreneurs." So we want to
yeah.
get Matthew on to talk about his journey into
Yeah,
smooth sales, how he got started and what inspired him to start up his own business as well.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
give us a little backstory, Matt. Like, I mean, just so the people at home get a little bit more familiar with you, like your upbringing and things that may have led to you being
definitely.
inspired to become an entrepreneur.
Well, when I was thinking about it, because I know you had hit me up on Saturday, like, yo, you want to be on the show? I was like, yeah, for sure. So I
Mm-hmm.
started thinking about my journey, in my professional retail management. But before that, I want to rewind some. Got to talk about the days working with my pops.
Yeah,
With dad at the gospel shop. He
yeah,
got me on. I wasn't even doing. He got. I would just go in there and be dusting, cleaning
yeah.
toilets,
Cleaning up.
Yeah,
vacuuming, just doing whatever. And then he slowly graduated me up to, okay, well, you can start, helping the customers and using the register and doing different things. So I slowly, graduated, so that's where the roots, that's where the base foundation came from him.
Yeah,
Also mom, she always raised us with the, you can always do anything
that
mentality.
mindset,
Don't give up, always pushing us. And a lot of that stuff, we have to apply it in the entrepreneurship
real
life.
life.
But
Yeah,
for sure.
but just coming up, I worked with my dad through high school and a little bit through college on the summers. I graduated college. I actually went to school for something completely different. Went to school for
me
graphic
too.
design, and then got out of college, and then started as a manager at Hibbett Sports. Hibbett Sports.
Yeah,
I worked there. Went from there. Went to Walmart as an assistant manager. Went to TJ Maxx assistant manager, and now doing my own thing as an entrepreneur. So
Definitely.
that's
yeah,
a journey, and
yeah, yeah.
a lot of things. A lot of things you learn from each experience. I'm able to incorporate all of that into running my own business now with
Yeah,
Smooth
that's
Sales.
what I was going to
Yeah,
ask you about because I also started, as a retail manager,
Yeah,
working in the malls on
yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas and Mother's Day. But
yeah.
what did you
Sacrifice
pick
the
up?
holidays.
What did you pick up from that management when you're managing other people and somebody else's business that you can,
hmm
transfer into managing your own?
Well, the main thing I picked up, and I also talked to other aspiring entrepreneurs. is tracking your numbers and your sales. That really taught me a lot because a lot of people, everybody wants to start a business up and they sell them. But I said, okay, so how's your profit margins? I'm just selling stuff, you
Yeah.
know. It's like, okay,
Just
so
selling stuff.
so you know,
Yeah.
so and it's like that. Like you got to track what you spending out, tracking what you sell, and then look at it, see are you being profitable? Because this might not be for you, you know, if you're not
Uh-huh.
profitable, or you might need to choose a different route.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah.
that's the main thing. And then also, you know, the customer service aspect, knowing how to treat customers, talk to customers. Even though I'm on a digital platform, you know, you still can interact with them, you know, through messages, through emails,
Yeah,
and
comments,
and
Mm-hmm.
all of that.
and one thing I taught my employees when I had employees was treat each customer like they're your mother coming in. You know,
Oh.
you wouldn't want
Hmm.
your mom being treated dirty or treated
Right.
disrespectful. So treat everyone with respect. Try to look
Mm-hmm.
out for them. Try to help them out. You know, with everything, and you know, you have a good experience. And that's what I always taught through my retail management career, and that's what I still do now. I'm running my own business.
For sure. For sure.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah,
awesome. Now you spoke about mom. It was big shout out to
yeah,
dad too, by the way, because
yeah. Shout out to
dad,
the parents.
yeah, dad gave us a lot of I guess accessibility to the things he was doing. He was like, I guess, the first entrepreneur. I remember early on as a kid, he was working at the Sherrall Yarn Mill, and he would come
Mm-hmm.
home from work and then go put in a few hours at his business. And then one day, the transition came where he was just going to his business. But then through the ranks, all of us had an opportunity to work there, and be around. I think that's the biggest thing, be around. Even his ventures at the radio station and different things like that, he would, or sometimes having the Praise and Faith Gospel Shop open, and then we pack up a van full of merchandise and go down to
Yeah.
Florence on a Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and still with the store open, we going down to Florence to sell every Saturday,
Yeah.
but yeah, and one thing you shouted out mom, which we give mom a lot of credit too on our
Yeah.
mindset. You remember that
Mm-hmm.
story about the scripture and the shoe tire?
So you got to refresh my memory on that.
Uh-oh. Yes, I need to hear this one.
Yeah,
You said the
yeah.
shoe
So
time.
so my yeah. This is one for the books right here. We're gonna give you guys some a golden nugget at
Yeah.
home.
No
So
charge.
so my, Yeah, no shortcuts, right? No charge and no
Mm-hmm.
shortcut.
Yeah.
So there was a period where Matt was learn. He was I mean, I'm 5 years older than my brother, right? He's my little brother. So there was a
Yeah.
period where he was learning how to tie his shoes, and he was struggling, as
Okay.
most
Okay.
kids do. He was struggling to tie his shoes, and he messed up and said, "I can't tie my shoes." My mom had him go scripture Philippians 4 and
That's right. That's
13. I can
right.
do all things through Christ.
That's
Yeah.
Had
right.
him writing it down and saying it, and that boy ended up tying his shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yo.
so I remembered the scripture, but I couldn't remember the lead up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all in accordance to you overcoming the hurdle of getting your
That's
shoes tied
awesome.
successfully.
So
You know what
I'm
I
using
mean?
that because I have one that's still struggling with learning how to tie her shoe right now. And she,
Yeah.
when we go shoe shopping, even yesterday we were at Target, we go looking at shoes. She instantly go to the strap-on joints because she don't want to
Oh
mess with
yeah,
the
yeah.
mess with the laces. But
Yeah.
I can do
Yeah.
all things through Christ.
Which
Right.
strengthens me, and so yeah, so that
For
just
sure.
that just kind of give you an idea
Yeah.
of the how our parents raised us, man.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
really not gonna be allowed to say you can't do something. You can always achieve.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And Matthew, when
I,
you talk about that transition from the retail life into entrepreneurship with your own business, what did that look like for you? And when did you make that decision that this is what you're going to be doing now?
Well, really, I was already doing it. I call it halfway or a little bit. When while I was working, I would just do little, local sales with stuff like that. COVID, played a big part
yeah.
in it, and also, because a lot of people started working from home, doing different things like
Hmm.
that. But also, when you see that there's actually money to be made in doing it, and it could be actually you can sustain and maintain. That's when I knew, okay, let's just go ahead and do this, and see
Right.
where it can go. Like I told my wife, like, give me 5 years, let me see how far I can take it. If it don't work 5 years, I might have to find something else. But but
Yeah.
so far,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
everything's
Yeah.
been
All you need is an
everything's been going
opportunity.
good. So Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
everything's going good. Still able
like,
to maintain and do what I'm supposed to do. So it's definitely, and like I think Steve Harvey said something like when somebody's thinking about something, but you have to do. I think he said jump, just jump, do it,
yeah, just
try it out
jump.
and see how it goes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because and at the end of the day, you don't want all of the time to pass, and then you're like, what if, or I wish I had, So as long as there's a window where opportunity presents itself, like you said, just go ahead and jump, go for it, because it could be something special just waiting on you to show up.
Listen, I got to
You
interrupt this
know.
Definitely.
broadcast. I have to interrupt this
Okay.
broadcast.
Yeah, that's my dad.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We was just talking
The
about you.
man we were just
What's up,
speaking
Dad?
of,
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Bishop
Appreciate
Hardison.
it,
How you
Dad.
doing,
Appreciate it,
sir?
Dad. Right.
Yeah, man. Hey, Dad, love you guys. Shout out to the whole
Yeah, love
family.
you.
Shout out to Sherrall, South Carolina,
Definitely,
Florence, South Carolina, surrounding area.
definitely.
Yes,
It's
sir.
funny. I don't know if I've ever met your dad,
Uh huh.
but sometimes when I was working in Sherrall,
Hmm.
I'd be in people's homes and they would,
Yeah, they probably
say,
know
"Oh,
him.
where you from?" I'm not from here, but I know people in Sherrall. Say, "Hey, you know Jerry Hardison?" And I'm talking about you. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I know Jerry. I cut his hair." I'm like, "Well, you don't cut his hair because he live in Rock Hill." But
not
yeah,
his hair.
yeah, yeah. That's what I realized. Oh yeah, senior. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mr. Jerry
Yeah,
Senior for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so even when I was growing up, my friend, at school, all my friends call me Jerry. In the household, since my dad's name
Hmm.
is Jerry, they call me by my middle name, which
Yeah.
is Timothy. So even when my friends would call the house, we would always have to say, I ask, are you talking about Big Jerry or Little Jerry?
Big
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah, yeah. So shout out to Dad. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a mainstay, a
Yeah.
staple in
For
the
sure.
Sherrall, South Carolina community, as well as Mom. So we
Definitely
glad to
is.
have you guys on with us today. We're having a great time.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody else in the
Yeah,
house, feel free to comment. Let us know
yeah,
that you're
Yeah.
here as well.
yeah. So Matt, tell us a little bit
Yes.
about Smooth Sales. Now that you made the transition from doing corporate things, and I did come to your training graduation when you were doing the
That's right.
Walmart thing in Kannapolis. We hung out, got some food, bought some shoes, all that stuff at Concord
Yeah.
Mills. And I
That's right.
forget, was it Rockport was going out of business? I
I think so.
remember.
Yeah. We racked up.
Yeah, I
Nice.
racked up on some shoes and some boots and stuff, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so tell us about Smooth Sales and what people can expect to find when they reach out to you.
Okay. Well, before I talk on that, I'm going to tell everyone an interesting fact. As I was thinking about different things. I said, I wonder, does anybody know where the title Smooth Sales came from?
Well, I
Oh,
know you used to have the moniker M Smooth.
okay. See,
So
you
yeah,
probably
see
be the only
you
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really a play on words, like Jerry was saying
smooth
earlier.
sailing. Smooth
Like,
sailing?
well, a little bit, but as he was
A
saying
little bit.
earlier,
A little bit.
uh, back in when I was in high school or something. I think it was high school.
Okay.
Me and my brother and my cousin. Shout out to Manny Franklin
Franklin,
Hardison.
yeah, you shout out to him and
We
his
used to be
family.
doing we used to be doing little raps and stuff, and I used to go by the title M Smooth.
M
that was my
Smooth.
stage name, and
Yeah.
so when I started transitioning to the business, I said, okay, so what am I gonna call it? I said, yo, I'm smooth anyway, so I said, let's call it Smooth.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah. Talk that talk.
That's right.
so so it's a play on words because it's like smooth sales. That means I'm selling, but also, I offer a smooth selling experience to the customer.
Awesome.
Easy transaction, smooth selling. So
That's
that's a
great.
little
Yeah, yeah.
a little a little fun fact.
That's for
Yeah. I was
sure.
thinking
Speak that
I was
thing
thinking
into
about that
existence.
today. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Speak
thinking
that.
about that today. The whole smooth sales and like homophones or homonyms, words that sound the same but spelled differently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was
Exactly.
already thinking like smooth
Yeah.
sailing, but
Yeah.
sailing.
Yeah.
That's a double
Exactly.
entendre.
Yeah, double
For
entendre. Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
You spoke that thing
yeah,
up. That's like me calling myself famous way ahead of time.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is what it's
yeah.
gonna
It's
be.
the
This is
it's
what
the
it's gonna be.
the power's in the tongue.
For
Sometimes
sure.
you got to
Exactly.
say things in order for them to manifest.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But getting back to the question, smooth sales. I started out mainly just focusing on the electronics aspect. I have various wholesale distributors that I'm able to order and get merchandise from. So
Nice.
electronics is my mainstay, but
Hmm.
over the years of doing this is my third year now doing this, and
Yeah, congrats.
I've transitioned to more clothing, household stuff, bedding,
Awesome.
uh, toys, video games, anything that I
Nice.
think can be profitable. I'll take a chance. Being an entrepreneur is all about taking a chance,
For
taking a
sure.
Yeah,
risk, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. Because with anything you are selling, it may not be hot all year long, but guess what? We're in the
right,
business to make consistent sales all year long if you want to make a living with it. So you have to find out what's hot, find out what's trending, and just go after it. See where you can get it from. So we're just kind of a Walmart. We kind of sell a
yeah,
little bit
yeah,
of
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
An
And uh,
individual.
and we'll be dropping the site. If anybody wants to check out anything, it'll be
We could
www.
throw, yeah, we could throw it up there, right, fine.
Okay. Well, you already in. I got a special going on my eBay store right now. You can go to shopsmoothsales.com, click the eBay
Yeah,
store
yeah.
link, and pretty much about I would say 95% of my store is on sale right now using the 15 or with a
Hmm.
15% off coupon. And all you got to do
Nice.
is
Yeah,
type in Smooth Easter 15 at checkout. We'll get you 15% off that total price. So be sure to
Nice.
check that out. Got a lot of stuff in there, a lot of stuff for sale.
That's
nice.
awesome.
So
Sure.
that website is Shops Smooth. Did we lose them? We get
My
to the.
bad.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
there
Bring
we
them
go.
back.
There we go. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Bring it
Bring
back.
it
Bring it back.
back. So that's what shop
Shop smooth sales.
www.shopsmoothsales.com, folks.
ShopSmoothSales.com. Yeah,
And
but
that
they have
coupon
all.
code,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
is Smooth Easter 15. So you might want to go
That's
over
right.
there today because Easter is
Yeah.
this Sunday.
That's
So you
right.
might want to
That's
go over
right.
there today and look around and share. And if you're still watching, folks, do me a favor. Share this feed as it is airing live. Share it to your individual pages.
Yeah.
You
Tell your
know,
people to tell your people.
yeah, the more the
Exactly. Yeah.
merrier.
We
The
just
more the
over here
merrier.
having fun.
That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
That's it.
I
Can
got.
somebody type it in the comments? Matter of fact, can one of our family members? Would you guys mind typing that in the comments? If they know it
Um,
right off. If not, we'll go back afterwards and
Yeah,
make
we'll
sure we
go
put
back and
that
put it
actual.
in the comments for sure, and we'll. I'll
Yeah,
go back to
okay.
that page towards the end as well. Ebony says,
yeah,
"Go
man.
check it out. You will find something you want for sure."
Yeah, shout out to my sister-in-law Ebony. That's
That's the
Matt's
wifey
wife,
chiming in.
holding it
Yeah.
down. There you go. Faith got it. Faith
Thanks,
is
Faith.
on it.
Thanks, Faith.
Thank you,
Shout
Faith.
out to Faith.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So you said you also before we wrapped up, you wanted to share some tips.
Yeah.
Yes, we can call these. Everybody's talking about. I got some gems for you, some tips. I want to call these smooth gems. Type smooth gem in
Smooth
the
gems.
chat, everyone. Smooth gems.
Smooth Jim's. Put it in the chat. Put it in the
Put it in
chat.
the chat.
All right.
All right, so I was thinking, because there's a lot of people, or a lot of different aspiring entrepreneurs. I
Uh-huh.
get questions like, "Hey, how do I get started? How do I get started?" I don't mind, sharing, information here and there, and I actually may work on a little course or something. At some point, like all the other guys are doing, like, I got a course. Hit me up for the business course. But
Yeah.
He got you.
Mastermind.
but
Masterclass.
Yeah,
but today I got
absolutely.
some top five smooth gems, and these are things I wish I would have known when I got started, but I had to kind of learn through trial and error. Failing some,
Yeah.
and
Give us
so
the first one
number
and we
one.
might chime in.
Okay, so number one, if you're trying to get into the entrepreneurship of selling, start with things that you already own.
Mm.
That you already got in your house. Go to your closet, go to the kids' room, stuff that may not be used anymore. Start with those things and see how it works. During that trial run, that may can tell you if you're fit for this or not.
Yeah.
Depending on
Mm.
how successful you are with it. There's no need to go spend hundreds of dollars on merchandise and then you don't know what to do with
Right.
it. Taking a loss on it, and oh man, I should have did that. So start with things you already own. It's more than likely if you just look in your closet now, or your kids' room, or just anywhere in the house,
Yeah.
you probably got stuff that you're not using that you can try to,
Definitely
you can try to
definitely the kids room.
sell.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Okay.
So
All
that's
right.
one thing. All right. So
All right.
number two, and this is a huge one. Buy a scale and learn shipping. So I'll
Mm.
tell y'all a story. So when I first started,
For
Yeah.
sure.
sounds
For
awesome.
sure.
So when I first started, I was just getting stuff, not weighing it, not knowing how much it cost. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like for instance, I had I think it was a Lord of the Rings collector's book, and it went for, I think I sold it for $20 free shipping. I got to the
Okay.
post office. I got to the post office. It cost me $16 to ship
Mm.
it, and I paid. I think I paid at least $8 for the book.
Wow.
So you best
Wow.
believe that was a loss.
Yeah.
Later on, I
Okay.
learned it was a thing called media mail that allows you to ship books and publications and CDs and movies and stuff like that, like media, for a lot cheaper. So
Right.
technically, I could have shipped that item for about $4 if I would have known that. The post office job is not to tell you how to ship it. So
Oh
the post
no.
office
Yeah.
job is to make money.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna
So
ask
if
you how you want to ship it anyway.
Yeah. But they don't
yeah,
give it. Yeah.
They-
They don't tell you, hey, you'd be better off going to ship this on your
yeah,
own
no, they're
somewhere.
not gonna tell you that.
no, their job
Wow.
is to make money, just like all of us.
Yeah.
So and I made several errors, and I think it may have been like a month or two into the game when I finally got my skill and started calculating my shipping beforehand and learning how to
Hmm.
price items. But starting out, I did take some huge losses by not buying the
Yeah.
scale initially. So
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
that's
that's number two
very
right
interesting. Very
there. Yeah,
interesting.
especially
And I never thought about it personally because I haven't been in that position. So, folks at home, if you're doing your online store, make sure you get you a scale and learn
get
these
you the skill.
rates.
Yeah.
These
Learning
shipping
is great.
rates.
Yeah, and then
Definitely.
also there's sites like and Faith can help chime in, but Pirate Ship Station, different sites that offer discounts on shipping. So for
Mm,
instance, it might cost $15 to ship it at the post office, but through those
mm,
sites you might can ship it for $10, $11. So you save
okay.
every little bit helps. So research that, familiarize yourself with that, and you'll be in there. You'll be in the business.
Yeah, it sounds
For
like the
sure.
information is out there, but you just gotta be willing to try and find it and not just go with the first thing you know. Like the first thing we know is post office, UPS
Post
store.
Yeah.
office.
Well, nowadays with everything going through e-commerce, there's a lot more
Yeah.
options out there. You just gotta type it in and find it
Yeah,
And he giving it to
exactly.
you guys free right now.
for sure.
Free.
No
Save
shipping
you
and
some
handling.
Free.
legwork.
All right. So number three
Number three.
is and this is with anything. Be consistent. Just even
Yeah.
with you guys. In the music field and shipping. You want
Yeah.
to be consistent. And with me, it's more responding to your messages when customers are messaging you. Oh, I'll get back to them later. I don't feel like dealing with this right now.
Timely
You
fashion.
know, because with entrepreneurship and when I'm doing it, I have to treat each customer like they're in my store. Like I've worked in the mall, like me and Fame talked about.
Yeah.
They're in your store for a few minutes. If you don't help them, you don't talk to them. They
They
out the
out the
store.
door.
They go
Cross the
into the
street.
competition. So you got to be consistent. If you're free, if you're free at that time, message them back. Answer their questions, anything they got, and then a lot of things with the consistency also is that these sites are looking at how much you are using their platform. So the more you use their platform, it's just like with Facebook. It's called the
Yeah.
algorithm. If you're
The
using the
algorithm.
platform trying to do stuff, they'll reward you with more views for your product. They'll send more customers your way. If you decide, oh, I'm gonna list Monday and then I'm not gonna list again until the next Monday, you're probably not gonna have any sales for that week. That's just how it works. So that's
Yeah,
consistency is key. You have to be
Yeah.
definitely.
consistent in everything you do.
Yeah. Speaking of
Go
that,
ahead.
Famous was sick last weekend, and we
Yeah,
almost didn't record last week, and then
yeah.
he just was like, "Well, let's go ahead and do it,
Let's
man."
go ahead and do it just for
Because
consistency.
consistency
Yeah,
for the
Yeah.
and it was just him and I, but we came on
yeah.
so we could still do our weekly tap in.
That was my
So
flu
yeah,
game.
so
Oh, you're right.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
That was my
The flu
flu
game,
game.
Jordan.
Yeah, that was my flu game.
yeah. We had the food poisoning.
Had
Yeah,
that bad pizza came through.
That pizza got him.
You got the jalapenos on the pizza, call it the flu.
And the
that's
pineapples
right.
and the Alfredo
He was
sauce.
sick.
Yeah,
All
you ain't
right.
have no
Okay,
flu.
so we got three
That's
tips.
free.
This guy is getting me
That's free.
distracted. All right,
Well, yeah.
number four.
All right. So number four, and this pretty much applies to my field. When you are listing and you're gonna try to sell your product, you need to take good pictures and be descriptive. There's too many times I'm looking on um, different people's pages and stuff, and they got the item, but then they take it in on the bed. The bed got all kinds of junk thrown across it and all kinds of
Yeah,
distractions.
Yeah.
yeah. Please clean
Like,
your rooms.
like I wouldn't even want to buy that. So you want to choose a clean area. Invest in some kind of lighting, and take good clean pictures. And there's several apps that can help you clean up those pictures for
Yeah.
free. Another
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah,
then the second part I hit on was the description. People want to know about the product. You can't assume everybody knows, what this item does. If you
Right.
add a
right.
description to it, you might make a sale based right off that description just because somebody read and like, oh man, I didn't know I needed that, but yeah, let me check that out. So,
Yeah,
your description, that's really important. That will help your sales drastically. So a lot of, people, especially if you go on eBay now and just browse, you'll see various items with no description. It's just the item
Yeah.
there, and that's it.
yeah,
Yeah. You want
yeah.
this?
Wow.
That's
And
it.
that's such a cold presentation,
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
It's like eating a cold food. I mean,
Yeah.
like just a picture with no descriptions, and people's attention spans are so short, and
Yeah.
they're already on this mobile device or what have you. They're gonna just keep scrolling. So that's
So,
great insight.
Yeah, I see
so
that
you
all
said
the
some,
time. I see that all the time, like on Facebook, just people selling their personal stuff, and it'll
Uh huh.
be they're selling their kids' clothes. Oh, I got a whole lot of 2T, 3T clothes, and they'll show a picture of like 2 shirts and then a big garbage bag full of clothes. Like, why are you
Right.
showing us the
Yeah. Yeah.
garbage bag full
Nah.
of
You already
clothes? Like, that's
guess
how much
guess
you
what?
got.
Guess what a garbage bag is synonymous with?
Exactly.
garbage.
Trash.
Exactly.
That's right.
Or like,
But
or
you,
like Matt said, the stuff be on their bed and their bed is a mess. Like, come on, you could have
Yeah,
done
yeah.
better
So you
than
got to
that.
be consider those things. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good stuff, man. Good
for
stuff.
sure.
but Midas, you made a good example earlier. You said like eating food, and when you said that, I imagine a regular item like that, like no description, is just a plate of white rice.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
you
plate
got to
of white
look.
rice.
You got to cut some veggies up, put some scrimps in it, put
Yeah.
some sauce
Yeah,
in it.
definitely got
Try
to
to
have the
make it look
scripts.
good.
Yeah, yeah, and a little salt and pepper.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got to spice it up a little bit.
for
That makes
sure.
it enticing.
For
Right, right.
sure.
No, that's great, and I'm sure everybody at home can agree with that. Nobody wants to eat just a plate of white rice.
Yeah. Like
How
Melissa
boring.
said, you just put that thing on the Facebook page and say, "You want this?" and that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Shout out to Melissa, good friend of the family.
Melissa, how
Melissa
you doing?
McLean in the house. What's happening? Yeah, man. All right. So
Yes,
number
sir.
5. We need
Okay,
a
okay,
drum roll
let's
for
see.
this one.
Yeah, we can. We can.
I
You
gotta.
got a
You
drum
gotta.
roll beat?
I'm a
Okay.
manufacture one.
Yeah, I don't
Manufacturer
have a
drum
drum
roll.
roll.
I
All
got
right.
it.
Go ahead.
All right,
It's
I
all
did
good.
it. It might not be loud enough,
So
but go ahead. Go ahead.
so number 5 is stay focused. And
Mm.
the subtitle is you are your own boss. And I want to elaborate on that. So everybody want to be their own boss. I'm
Yeah.
tired of working with it. I'm tired of that, complaining. But guess what? When you when you work for yourself, you can see how much discipline you really have. Because being your own boss can either be great or it can
Yeah.
be the worst decision ever. Because if
Right.
you don't have the discipline, there's nobody telling you what to do. There's nobody making you get up. There's nobody making you do this, do that. When you're an entrepreneur, you know what you got to do, and you have to do it yourself. You have to have
Yeah.
that discipline, stay focused, stay on task, and do. And then when you're an entrepreneur, if you don't do it, it doesn't
It
get
ain't gonna
done.
get
There's
done.
nobody. Yeah, it
Yeah.
ain't gonna get done.
Who else gonna do
So
it?
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
That's
if you
so
don't have that
important.
if you don't have that hustle spirit, then you might want to reconsider it because it's a 24/7, 365 hustle.
Yeah, and I'm
Man.
sure you're
That's
always thinking even when you're not doing. I'm sure you're
Yeah.
thinking even in the back of your mind, kind of planning in your head, visualizing
yeah,
what you
Yeah.
need to do next. It's an ongoing thing,
exactly.
huh?
And I think that's
Ongoing.
definitely important, especially with the transition that Matt made. Like he said, he was already doing this kind of as a side hustle, still working a full-time job, and then it graduated into this is just going to be my full-time gig. Same thing with me. And what I noticed is that first couple of weeks that I didn't have to go outside the house to go to work anymore.
Yeah.
If I don't put myself on a schedule, 4:30 get here real fast.
Real
You know
quick,
what I'm
buddy.
saying? So I'm
And you
sitting
still in your
home.
PJ.
I'm catching up on the Lakers Dynasty TV show. I'm ironing clothes, all this stuff but I didn't really get to my
Yeah.
plans for the business for the day. It took me a couple
Yeah.
weeks to
Yeah.
get into put yourself on a schedule. The same way when you work for
A
somebody
routine.
else, you had a schedule. Somebody
Mhm.
had to tell you what time
Hmm.
to get there. I had to start
Yeah.
Yeah.
putting myself on a schedule. Like, hey, from 10 to 12, this is what I'm doing. And I'm not doing
Right.
nothing else.
Gotcha.
From 12 to, you know what I'm saying? And that really
Yeah.
helped a lot. But like you said, you got to be focused on that.
Yeah. And you
Exactly.
got to
It's
put the
so many
time in. If
distractions.
you go ahead, Matt, I'm sorry.
I was just saying because there's so many distractions, especially when when you're not clocking in and going to the office. It's
Yeah.
easy to get distracted. So you just have to stay focused and stay on task.
Yeah. Yeah,
Go ahead,
it
Maya.
is very
Yeah. Yeah.
easy.
No, I just gotta say, and with like anything else, you have to put the time in order to get the results,
That's
on
right.
the back end. So I
That's
think
right.
when we talked to Blake a couple of weeks ago, we was talking about if you visualize your time as a pie and slicing it accordingly, making sure you devote X amount of time, to
Absolutely.
your business, X amount of time to your family, and so forth and so on. Speaking of family, we got to shout out Ebony. We got to shout out Jeremiah, Gavin, and Heaven,
Hey.
my nephews
Yeah.
and nieces.
Hey.
We got to shout them out too, and I'm sure you're kind of even Jeremiah getting into making music and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So it rubs off, man. Having
Yeah.
seeing your parents do certain things, just like if just like anything else, kids are impressionable, and when you see your parents doing certain things, even in the entrepreneurial field or the mindset, it rubs off.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
Yeah.
rubs off, and
Definitely.
especially if you're passionate about something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And they can see
And
that
I can
passion.
take the experience I have. So I'm trying to guide Jeremiah with different things here and there because he's passionate about his music. So it's nothing like you got to take a chance. Try. Nothing beats a failure but a try. So we're gonna see how far this can go.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I
that's
love
awesome.
that.
That's
Nothing
awesome.
beats a failure but a try.
But a try. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Any questions out there in the comments? We
Yep.
on the wind down. We normally don't try to keep you guys more than 30 to 40 minutes, but
Yeah.
I figured we
I
could take a
got
couple of questions if there were any while we
Yeah.
yeah.
kind of
You
Well,
write
while we
down these
wrap it
wait,
up.
questions.
I got one. I got one. If we got one, I'll pull it up. But I have one. What's next for Smooth Sales? Where do you see the business going? What's that 5-year plan look like?
So right now, I'm in the process. Where we talked about me being on eBay and other sites. Well, what comes with other sites is transaction fees. They want to cut of the pie. They want to slice the business. So I haven't announced it yet. I guess it would be a little quick sneak peek. I
That
am in the
they
process of
might
working
as
on.
well
Might as
exclusive.
well.
Yeah,
Wait,
I am
hit the
on.
horn one more time. Hold on, hold
Hold
on,
on.
hit the
Hold on.
horn one
Hold
more
on.
time.
Major key alert. Major key
Yeah, yeah,
alert.
major key alert.
Oh,
The wrong one.
You hit the. Hey yo,
the
you
bicycle
gave him the
horn.
the Bobo the clap.
Hey man, we learning this thing together. We learning this thing together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead. We just having
So
fun.
so
We just having fun.
I'm in, so I am in the process of building my own website, which will link majority of my products there. I've started
All right.
working on it, but with anything, you get a little off focus, hustling, doing some other things. So I've got to get back on it. But hopefully it'll be launching by the summer if my plans go right. And
Awesome.
Yeah.
so that will help drastically because when you look at your breakdown, remember I was talking about the numbers earlier, and you see exactly where your
Right.
money's going. That the platforms are definitely getting their cut. So
Yep.
if I can help eliminate some of that, and that's more money for the business and for me, of course.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's the short term
Absolutely. That's
plan,
awesome.
and really, and the long term plan is like I say, I just want to see how far we can take this. Maybe make it a family business. Only God knows how far we can go.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the main thing is to keep moving forward and keep one foot going in front of other. And speaking of
Right.
5-year plan, you're already on your third year now. You
Yeah.
said so. Just
Yeah.
keep doing
You're right on
what you're
time.
doing. Yeah, I think Faith had a question. I
Faith
think I
has a
see.
question. This kind of goes right into, this has been a recurring theme on our show. How do
Yeah,
you
because it's so
balance?
important.
It's very important. How do you balance working from home given that you have wife and children?
So that part, I'm not going to lie, that is a tough part, especially with the kids, because when the kids see you, they don't know exactly what you're doing. They might think,
Yeah.
oh, he's just whatever, but, so a lot of times you have to say, okay, hold on, I'm working right now. Hold on, let me hold that thought and get to you.
Yeah.
But that is tough. And and to be honest, when you're building a business, a lot of focus does go into building the business. But I need to work on. I'll just be honest, trying to balance that a little more because when you're in the process of building a business, a lot of your focus goes into building that business to see
Yeah.
exactly how far it can go. But it is tough, and that's where that number 5 goes at to stay
Yeah.
focused.
Stay
Go
focused.
focus, but you don't want to sacrifice the family for that. So you definitely have to plan some stuff with the family. Try to,
Oh, for
whether it's
sure.
just a game day or just going out to the mall, going out to eat,
Yeah.
riding out to the
Hmm.
beach, planning some time around the family. But it's
Yeah.
definitely a little bit tougher.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's where if there's a significant other or a spouse who's understanding, I could imagine that helps too. Because
Yeah.
I just thinking back to when I spoke when Dad used to work at the yarn mill, and he would come home, I
Hmm.
think, wash up, eat, and he'd have to leave to go build his business, and Mom held it down, and obviously was understanding enough, understanding he was working on something, and she
Yeah.
managed the household during that
Yeah.
period. So it takes everybody working together.
Working
Absolutely.
together. That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's good. It's definitely good when your significant other is on board with with your dream and with what you're trying to build. Because if they don't like it, if they don't believe in it the way you do,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah.
everything is going to be a problem. Oh, you back on that computer again? That kind of stuff. Here you go.
Hey,
Well,
you
well,
back on that computer again? As
well
we are on the computer
As we're
again.
on the computer again.
Mm-hmm.
I will shout out my wife. She's been a great supporter and very understanding. I mean, she's even sometimes if she sees something, she'll purchase for the business. She'll be like, "Here,
Oh,
I'm gonna purchase this for the business, and you make it do what it do." So I do appreciate
yeah,
Absolutely.
that.
yeah. Team
All
players,
right.
man. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Shout out to the
Oh,
significant
man.
others and the children. We all got
Yeah.
kids and they have to, go to their room or go somewhere else when we do this or when we're doing our business or when
Yeah.
we're rehearsing and all these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, man. And now that Isaiah's of age, I can bring him to some of the shows as long as
Yeah.
they're in the daytime and we're not getting back too late. I can bring him along. He can come along to rehearsal and he understands when I get on and do my broadcasting. He gives me my little
Yeah.
space. I let
Yeah.
him do his little thing, and then we reconvene. When I'm done. So it's just figuring out a strategy that works for everyone and allows everyone to get accomplished what it is they need to accomplish for that day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, and we thank you guys at home for joining us. This was great, man. It's a pleasure to
Yes.
have my little brother on here.
Yes.
You
Pleasure
know,
being here.
yeah, man. And you
Yes,
shed
sir.
some light on some things that I even knowing that you have your own business, but being sharing some intricate details that I haven't even considered. Some things that you have to deal with, as even with learning the shipping and keeping up with your profit margins and things
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
been a great chat.
Yeah. A lot
You have
more.
Sure.
anything you like to say to the audience before we wrap up?
Plug the website again.
No, let's get that
Put the
website in
website
there.
www.shopsmoothsales.com. Right now, that's linked into all of my digital platforms.
Yeah,
Eventually,
yeah.
when my website is ready to be set up, it's going to link to my own website. And right now, if you go there and go to my eBay store, you can get 15% off your purchase there by using code Smooth Easter 15 at checkout. And if you
Absolutely.
haven't done so already, please follow and like Smooth Sales on Facebook.
Please do that.
Appreciate
Please
the
do
Yeah,
that.
support.
yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
We're gonna put that
And we're
in the
gonna
link that to the comments as well. So when you're watching the replay, you can also see that and you can just click right on it.
for sure. Please go over
So,
there today, ladies and gentlemen, and use that code so you can get
Use the code.
15% off for Easter. Again, Easter is this Sunday, so you
It
have less
is.
than a week
Yeah,
to go
that's
over there
right.
and get some shopping done. You
definitely.
know, famous. What you got on your mind before we wrap up?
Hey, just speaking of liking and following, don't forget to follow No Shortcuts on the YouTube. We'll be that's where all of these episodes will live after we air and they replay on Facebook. They also live on the YouTube, and you can catch up. You can catch up and binge watch all of our
Binge
previous
watch.
all of our previous episodes as well. So make sure you do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And real quick, shout out to Mellow Groove. Shout out to the chairman of the board. Shout out to A Touch of Faith. Shout out to the Hour of Power. Shout out to Earth, Wind, Fire family, official Honeycomb family, and also to my dad's business, Praise and Faith
Yes, sir.
Gospel Shop in Sherrard, South Carolina. If you're in Sherrard, South Carolina, or surrounding area, stop in for all of your church supplies. And even in the season, you can get fitted for a tux during the
That's right.
prime season too. So we just dropping all the plugs in
That's
right
right.
quick.
That's right.
Yeah, well,
Mr.
this has been a
Matthew.
pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
It was great. It was great, man. We appreciate you being on with us for sure. This was some good jewels you dropped with us.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate you having me. Appreciate it. I had a good time. So thank y'all for having me. Thank you to the family. Thank you to the Smooth Sales crew, everybody, all the supporters out there. Just appreciate it. It was fun.
All right.
Yeah. He gave y'all a lot of juice for free 99, and then a lot of juice for free 99,
Free 99.
Free 99. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely.
shout out one more time to my brother. This is his first time, coming on the platform and speaking of himself and promoting his business. So we're so proud of him. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you to my family. We're going to be coming on again next week. Most days is going to be either Mondays or Tuesdays. We'll let you know. In the meanwhile, go over to YouTube, subscribe to the No Shortcut Show.
Yeah.
God bless you all. Good night. Enjoy your dinner out there in
Yes.
YouTube land, the internet land. We out.
Or your breakfast.
It's been a pleasure. Max, stay on. Max,
Yeah.
stay on.
All right.
Peace.